Hello, everyone. JDev has returned once again to give you exactly what you want, which of course would be more of me, that amazing, beautiful backdrop that's usually behind me, giving you my thoughts, my opinions, and what I hope will be some expert analysis on a certain topic subject. Of course, with it being now November on a Sunday night, I could only be here for one thing, and that would be my weekly Walking Dead recap. But before I get into that recap, you should know that there'll be spoilers. So if you're not caught up with where The Walking Dead is, which is through season 10, episode 4, this episode will be in season 10, episode 5, I highly suggest that you don't watch this video so nothing gets spoiled for you. So you've been warned. So again, season 10, which I still can't believe, episode number 5. The title of the episode was What It Always Is, and it was a great episode. Specifically, a great episode for Negan. So Negan is our character of the episode, and there was a lot of stuff with Negan in this particular episode. So I just want to give my recap or takeaways from the episode. So Negan starts the episode off with Brandon, who's been the guy that's kind of been watching him at Alexandria. He followed Negan out. We don't get told that Brandon's the one that released Negan, so that question is still unanswered. But they're talking. There's another scene where Brandon's apparently lets it be known that he was a kid at the sanctuary and that his parents were there. And my dad used to tell me stories about how you chopped Rick Grimes' kid off, or chopped Rick Grimes' kid's hand off, and that you killed him. And Negan right away is like, no, I would not kill or hurt a kid. And that was pretty powerful stuff. And they even said Carl's name in that. I was friends with Carl. That was good stuff. I really liked it. And at one point, Brandon, this character that we're supposed to be attached to after a couple episodes, he pulls some things out of his backpack, which is a leather jacket, which was Negan's old jacket, and then he has a barbed wire baseball bat. Not Lucille, but Lucille 2.0, maybe. So that was interesting. There's another part in the episode with them two looking, like spying on walkers and judging them on how hot they are. Well, that's mainly Brandon. And then Negan adds his humor to it. I thought she was a 3 at least, so that was funny stuff. And then they go to this bus where there's actually somebody being attacked by walkers on a bus. This lady and her child. Negan, of course, saves the day. And then they kind of talk. Then Negan has a one-on-one with the kid, who I don't recall if they even said his name, but it was pretty good stuff. Just looking at my notes here, seeing, this game and whatnot, and telling the kid that they'll have a place where there's a mansion in the middle of the field, and I think he's talking about the hilltop, I think. And just telling the kid that he's going to look out for him and his mother, and it was really good Negan stuff. And then Negan goes to get wood to make a fire, I presume. Well, I guess before that, Negan tells Brandon, because Brandon wants to do away with this kid and his mother because they don't know them. And Negan's like, no, people are a resource. But anyway, him and the kid have a conversation. And then Negan's going to get wood, and he comes back to see that Brandon has killed the kid and his mother, and he's not happy about it. So he grabs like a rock and comes charging at Brandon and just clocks him in the head repeatedly with this rock, killing Brandon. And that's it for that as far as that dialogue goes. We found more stuff out in this episode, though. We found out that Kelly and Magna and Connie, I think, are actually stealing supplies from the hilltop. Kind of like Victor Strand did in Fear the Walking Dead. They're stealing supplies just for what's next in that particular Walking Dead universe. So, yeah, I don't care about Kelly. I like Magna, though, but we'll see what happens with that. This is big stuff. So, Sadiq goes to the hilltop, and Ezekiel wants him to stick around, and Ezekiel starts coughing really bad, and Siddiq say, "Hey, let me take a look down," And Ezekiel pushes Siddiq away, and then sits down. He gets to put Ezekiel in a chair, and then Ezekiel has like this thing around his neck, and he pulls it off, and there's a big knot on his neck. And then he's like, "No, I know what it is. My family members of my family have had it before. It's throat cancer, and it's back, and his time is limited. So it appears we're going to lose King. Well, he's not really king anymore, but Ezekiel at some point this season. We don't know when. I'm guessing the mid-season finale. Maybe he makes it to the end of the season, but I highly doubt it. So that's unfortunate. I really like the actor that plays King Ezekiel, Khary Payton. I think he's, or Khary Payton, I believe. He's entertaining. He seems to get into the role, and that's, that character. He was in there for season 7, 8, and 9, and however many episodes he has for 10. But if we really got enough of Ezekiel, they could have done more with him, I think, but he's had so much tragedy happen since he's been on the show that I guess this is only fitting. But how he dies will be important, I'm guessing. And will his head end up on a pike? I think he's going to go balls to the walls in the Whispers to try to, redeem Henry's death. I was listening to a live stream of a YouTuber, and he thinks that's what's going to happen, and he's going to get his head cut off. But before he does that, before Alpha cuts Ezekiel's head off, and this is nothing I know for sure, and this person doesn't know for sure, he thinks the last words, she'll be like, "Any last words?" And he'll be like, "And then I smile," or something, whatever the line is he says. So we'll see if that's going to come to fruition, but definitely good stuff. Oh, let's see what else. Just reading my notes here. We have Gamma, who's played by Thora Birch, who's killing walkers by the pond or lake and actually cutting them open so their blood is in the water, contaminating it. And Aaron sees this happening. And apparently this is done to kind of set up Aaron because he's weak and whatnot. So interesting stuff. There's something really discreet that happens in this episode that some people probably won't catch. So Siddiq is talking to Dante on the radio, just, seeing how things are going in Alexandria or whatnot. And there's a part where Dante just quickly says, "Yeah," and he asks how Rosita's doing. And he's like, "Well, she caught a bug. Could that be in regards to the water being infected? I thought Rosita was going to die in this season, so that might lead to that particular event happening. Let's hope not, but we'll see." We got Daryl and Connie. They're in the woods looking for Kelly because Kelly ran off in this episode. Kelly almost died. I think Kelly should have died in this episode, but she didn't. And that's where Daryl finds out that Magna and Kelly and them are stealing supplies. But Connie and Daryl hold hands. I hope they don't keep them together. You gotta have Daryl and Carol at least one time kiss or something in this TV series. But we'll see what happens with that. There's a part where Daryl says, good dog," and it's funny because the dog is a dog and his name is Dog. Good old Daryl. But yeah, lots of stuff with Brandon and Negan in this episode. Earl has like random, that's the old guy at the hilltop. He has like random lines, which leads me to believe he's going to be one of the next victims. And then really the only other thing about this episode that comes to mind is the end of the episode where we see Negan with his leather coat on and that replica Lucille walking past the border and starting to kill walkers. And then at one point Negan's pushed away and it's Beta and it looks like they're going to go to war. So that's exciting. Negan and Beta. Everybody wants to see the Negan and Beta encounter. Personally, obviously it doesn't look like they're going to actually go at it. It looks like Negan's going to pretend to join the Whisperers, because I don't think Negan's going to join the Whisperers. So that was good stuff. Oh, and I'm kind of jumping around here. There's a lot of references to past characters in this season, I've noticed. In addition to the Carl stuff that we talked about, where Brandon says something about you killed Carl or you cut Carl's arm off. There's also a reference to Merle in this episode by Daryl when he's talking to Connie, or when he's signing to Connie and writing things down on paper. So that was interesting. But anyway, back to it. Negan and Beta potentially might go at it. So it's exciting stuff. Nice episode. I enjoyed it. If I rate it, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. Again, good stuff. I think they could have done away with Connie, and they could have just done more. But again, a great season thus far of The Walking Dead. I'm enjoying it, and I'm very excited to see what happens next week, and of course, the following weeks, as we only have 3 episodes left until the mid-season finale, or this was episode 5, so 3 left, and then we're done until probably February. So, what I need you guys to do, obviously, make sure you like the video or thumb it up, depending on if you're watching it through YouTube or Facebook. And then you got to subscribe to the channel. You got to share it, favorite it, if you want to. And then leave a comment. Leave a comment about your thoughts about the episode, your episode score, or what you think will happen next. Be careful for spoilers, but obviously we want to get the conversation started. And I really hope you enjoyed the video. And of course, I'll be back again soon with another. Peace.